All right, I just made a run to AutoZone. I needed to get a valve spring puller because what I'm going to start working on, this is a Slon Engineering out of, I believe, Russia, a chassis stiffening kit. So this includes this triangulating strut tower brace, which is insane. So I have to do some sanding, acetone, epoxy. It's a whole big project, right? It is maybe above my pay grade. We're going to figure it out. And so this needs a brace or a bracket that gets epoxied to the firewall and then bolted together. And so in order to get this all set up, there's a guide screw that goes in place. And so in order to get this set up, I need to get the wiper blade arms off, the cowl off. I already took all of this stuff off. So I took the firewall bracket or firewall plug, I guess it's called, off. And then I took the cabin air filter housing off. All that gets replaced with a new carbon fiber piece. And then I've got this strut tower brace to work with here. So check this thing out. This thing's pretty sick. So this is the brace. Right, and so you have the two on the top of the strut tower, and then we're going to epoxy this, and this is where the triangulation goes, and supposedly this makes a pretty remarkable difference in the chassis stiffness of the vehicle. So that's going to go on, and then there are these two pieces here. So this is the bracket that bolts, or the bracket that connects the car to the new strut tower brace, and then this here is a very specific piece. It goes up under and will bolt in place. I think if I get it in there, oh boy, it's gonna be tricky. And so this section here is going to get epoxied, but there's a guide bolt. So it's a pretty genius setup. So we have looks like CNC'd aluminum into carbon fiber that's epoxied together. And so we're going to use that same quality epoxy to epoxy this to the firewall. And so what I need to do is I need to sand up under here and get that ready to go. And there's not a lot of room to work here. But first, let's get the wiper blade arm off. And we're going to use this puller to do so. Bring the car down a bit. So, all right, taking the cowl off because I have all these pieces. I need to do a little bit of organizing because I got crap everywhere. So, where that piece goes, I must go underneath this. I don't know. I'm gonna figure that out as well. So I'm taking these T30s out, and I need to organize all my parts. It's getting messy here. Okay, that's removed. Now I need to remove this piece here. I also have the carbon fiber cover from Carbonius to put on, so I need to take that off. Well, I figure since I have the whole front torn apart, I might as well do all this at once because I gotta put the front shocks in, coilovers in. Anyway, I tried to pull this off by hand, but there's a whole write-up on like E46 fanatics on how to do this thing. And so this puller, I already took the driver's side off. This puller makes it super easy to do. It's not made for this, but it works. It works quite well. Yeah, I don't need to replace these arms. They look great. Cowl looks great too. It was a little bit, the factory housing here for the cabin air filter was a little not looking so great. Shoot, this thing needs but that's all getting replaced with the Slon carbon fiber piece. Glad I went and bought this thing. I'm glad they had it. They had it was like open box jank piece. There we go. Nicely done. Okay. I organized everything. I had stuff all over the place. So now I got everything organized into categories and nuts and bolts and all the stuff in the right spot. So then this, I believe, just pops off. Not quite like taking your whole car apart. Good news is all the cracks and crevices are going to get really clean. And I do need to replace this as well. So this is just a cover for the cover, I think. So I'm going to remove this to put the carbon fiber piece on. And maybe I should wait to do that at the very end, right before I test fit everything. All of this, there's a new piece that goes here. Gosh, if only I had a dry ice setup. It's all right, I'll have it here for the future cars. Because I could like restore all of this stuff to like brand new, or close to it, or feeling like brand new. We'll do a final cleaning before I put this back together. Okay, I have a solid understanding of this. Bad news, I was going to buy a new cowl, but can't get one. So everything's good, broke. So I plastic welded it with a soldering iron, put this back on here. The other side of this is stuck in the car, so we're okay. And this piece is in good shape, so I can put this aside. And now I can start working on sanding this down. So I've got to sort of mark the area to sand. I've got it all test fitted. This wire actually goes underneath, so now I know how everything goes. This piece comes off and it gets replaced, so I'm going to take that apart. And then we're on track to get this thing put together. All right, I got it sanded up underneath there, so that's good. I need to do the right thing, which is I need to put the suspension on, brakes on, put the car on the ground. I'm afraid with a little bit of deflection that it's not going to sit right. You really need to do this under load. So I'm going to put this stuff together, and then I'm going to bag it here for today. But yeah, I need to hang the suspension in position and then put this on the ground. And so I think I'll do the suspension brakes. I'll clean the other side of the car, and then we'll work on finishing the strut tower brace. Okay, today's the day to epoxy this thing. So remember, I sanded this under here. I just checked it with a mirror. It's pretty good. I think this stuff is going to bond no matter what. But anyway, I want to wipe this down with some acetone. So I bought some acetone at the auto parts store. I'm just going to pour a little bit of this on the towel. All right, we're ready. Kind of get one shot at this. It's not, I don't think it's going to be too terribly difficult. Throw that aside. I've got my epoxy adhesive. I'm going to do this whole thing here. Maybe I should wipe this down as well. Make sure it's ready to receive. Okay. So we got a 2-part epoxy. So I've got my bolt. Actually, I want to put some grease on this bolt, because this is the one that's going to hold it in. We want to make sure that it can come back out. Okay, I got my bolts here. This goes in. Then this goes in. Then this goes in. And then I tighten everything down, and then we'll let it sit for a day. So I don't have any grease, so I'm going to put some anti-seize on this bolt. This is just so the epoxy won't lock this bolt on in case any gets on there. There we go. Don't let it beat you, Maddie. It goes in like that, goes like that. Now we're locked and loaded. Okay, so we're gonna put this on. I broke this thingy, so I'm gonna use this to spread it around. I want this all the way out to the edge. Good solid coverage. Okay. Now I'm gonna lay it on here. Okay, here we go. Time to put it in. Bolt. Set that right there. Oh yeah, this is easy. I'm gonna put this in here not tightly, just medium, because I need to get it all fit. I'm gonna jam this in here to make sure the back is in place. Put this in. Okay, 24 Newton meters. We're going to tighten down the strut tower brace bolts first. Strut tower brace to adapter bracket is 40 Newton meters. 40, other 40. I'm gonna add some epoxy to the crack here, just to make sure the back's in nice and tight. So I actually would recommend putting a wedge in each side. And then that's gonna sit for 24 hours. I'll see you tomorrow. This is ready, it's the next morning. So now I've gotta take the bracket off, the connector bracket, and get the firewall plug in place and kind of assemble this whole thing. Okay, I transferred the drain, little drain grommets, cleaned them up, made them look like new. Transfer that over to the carbon fiber Slon version. Get those all cleaned up. I used some rapid remover to get that off. Now I need to go find some tabs. There's supposed to be tabs that came with it, but in order to screw this in, so I'm gonna go see if I can find some in my Robo kit. Okay, that piece is on. So we've got the little spacer behind there. Put the little clips in. That's keyed in like so. So this is called the firewall plug. That's all done. Now, I think that this wire here needs to go on top. I think I messed it up. So actually, I can just disconnect it here and reroute it instead of taking this off. Okay, so this wire here wants to push up the whole assembly. I wonder, I kind of want to take this thing back off and see. I need to tighten those down. It's like there's, I need a little bit more slack, but I don't think I have any. It's like this thing needs to go. There we go. Okay, so let me torque those two. You see how this all connects. Pretty. And then the wires run through this little chase. Pretty genius design. All right, Got the new whatever solenoid sensor thingy, intake, maybe air temp sensor put in place. There's a new one they supply. So that's all plugged in. All I gotta do is transfer the pieces from the old to the new. Put the top on. Here's a close-up look of the completed project. Really cool. All carbon fiber. You know, I actually like the fact that I have some matte and some gloss, so it doesn't look too carbon fibery. And I do need to do a polishing of this once I get the front bumper put on. 10 out of 10 recommend. Big install project for a strut tower brace, but very doable, very DIY-able. Didn't need any super special tools. Super cool.
Quarter tank to Tucson. You swore we'd make it anyway. Wait. Maps spread on the dash like wings that couldn't fly. You said, trust the horizon. I said, trust that we won't die. Hey, quarter tank to Tucson, half a plan and a borrowed car. Every mile a maybe, every mile another scar. You kept humming some old heartbreak off key, but you sang it strong. If love is just a long road, we were on